Yeah, so hello everyone. Now I just quickly share some updates from OHDSI Taiwan. Please, next. Yeah, so here are some members in OHDSI Taiwan Society Office. I just add more members to these slides compared to the previous. So we have more and more people to join us. Okay, next one. Next slides. Yeah. So some about the OHDSI Taiwan Society, because we create this society in 2022. So we have a member from not only just TMU, Taipei Medical University system, but also some members from the other hospital in Taiwan. And then what we have done, the third board meeting will be held at Jiayi Christian Hospital in this coming Sunday. So we just want to cooperate with our members in our society, co-members, and to have the board meeting over there together with some big seminar or big conference. So there is a conference named Health Big Data Seminar this coming weekend, and I think Nicole was also invited to give a speech in this seminar, and so we will to promote OHDSI in this seminar, and also we have promoted the OHDSI network in Taiwan in industry, including AZ, Oracle, and also some hospitals like Feng Hospital, Taiwan Adventist Hospital, Chungsoo Hospital, and we also promote OHDSI Taiwan in other institutes like the Taiwan National Institute of Health. And in the past months, I also invited Nicole and Mornin to give a lecture to share their experience about OHDSI learning and OHDSI cohort studies in my course. And what about the future? The next board meeting will be held in another city in Taichung, Tong's Metro Harbor Hospital. And this is also one of our members' hospitals. So we are going to promote OHDSI once again during the conference. And also we will continue to promote OHDSI network to other pharmaceutical companies, CRO companies, and government agencies, local medical centers, and also insurance institute. And we have already planned to support to develop OHDSI in Vietnam and also in Indonesia, because we have some connections about the hospitals over there, and then we are going to promote OHDSI Taiwan and also OHDSI network, and to support them if they are interested in OHDSI, and to do the common data model to convert their database to OMOP. Okay, next slide, please. About studies, what we have done, we joined one SOS challenges, which is about fluorocorninone led by Nicole. And we have already joined 3 studies initiated by OHDSI APAC in 2022, including the COVID one led by Chen, and multiple sclerosis led by Nicole, and also the quality study led by Chungsoo. And what we want to do in the future, we have already submitted 4 abstracts to 2023 OHDSI APAC Symposium, including 4 topics. And we are going to call for international collaborators during the symposium, and we hope to have more collaborators from the other country and to join these 4 studies. And we have already developed the other 2 abstracts for global symposium, so we are going to submit the abstract maybe today or tomorrow. Next, please. Okay, so this is our website, and welcome to visit our website if you are interested in that. Okay, I think this is the last one. Yes, thanks.
Hi, Boy. Hi, everyone. Yeah, OHDSI China is established by Hua Xu a couple of years ago. And then now we have four co-chairs. I'm one of them. And then Hui Liu and Yi Zhou also co-chairs. One is from Shanghai Jiao Tong University. The other one is from Xinjiang University. So the objectives of our chapter is to promote OHDSI strategy and methodology in China. I think in recent years, there are more and more hospitals and institutions adopting the OHDSI framework. And then I think we receive more requests for training as well. So the training is a very, I think it's heavy right now in China. And the second objective is to create collaboration activities that encourage the collaborative research among the healthcare institutions in China. So in this part, I think we are working with different universities and their affiliate hospitals, try to establish the OHDSI framework. I will talk about it in what we have done in Fudan later. So next slide, please. Okay, so keep the chapter activities going. We have monthly lectures. So every month we invite investigator or researchers in the field. This is what we listed here. So in February we have Mengling Feng, who just featured in OHDSI Global, right? So give us talk, and then in March we have Hua Xu, now is in Yale, and give us a talk. And then in April, we have a local speaker, which is from Shanghai Hospital Development Center. And this center is administrating all the major hospitals in Shanghai, and they have a huge amount of data accumulated, more than 800 million patients record. So they are trying to make it for the research. So that's why we invite one of their directors to give us talk. And then last month we have a researcher from University of Hunan, and who is expert on open ear. Open ear is another system which is I guess is similar to HL7, and so they have like a network in China for open ear. So we have him to give a talk. And then this month, we will have Professor Wu from University of Florida to talk about GPT models in medicine. So we keep all the lectures open, so basically it's online. And then most of the talks in Chinese. So the audience, most of them in Chinese. So so that's and also we're planning to have workshops, not only the lectures, the workshops, and also I have a course, undergraduate course, which is half of them are going to use the OHDSI materials. So that's the teaching part. Next slide, please. Okay, so we are working on a project which is within my institution, the Fudan University. We have more than 18 affiliated hospitals, but major hospitals, there are 6 major hospitals. So we're working on a network, which is what we call a clinical research data network based on private computing. And this network is, we have installed the private computing platforms in all 6 hospitals, and also in the Shanghai Medical College, which we are the coordinator center. So we coordinate all this the data activities, and the data will stay in the hospital, but through this private network, we can have the data shared between the hospitals. And so there's 3 steps. First, we construct a private computing platform in each hospital, and the data collection and cleaning and all the ETL process is done in each individual hospitals. And then we form this data network and data sharing. I think the major obstacles is the policy. So probably in 10 days, we're going to have a meeting which have all the hospital directors joined, going to talk about the policies of how to share the data. And then we from that, we're going to have like a disease-specific research network. So as for example, the liver cancer, the Zhongshan Hospital have a liver cancer data, and Huashan Tumor Hospital, they all have liver cancer data. So then we can form kind of a specific disease data network, so they can the investigators can really easily to use this network to conduct their research. So that's this homework, this framework I have not finished yet, but hopefully will be online by the end of this year. But for the APAC meeting, we submitted a poster introducing this framework. Maybe, as we said, maybe we can submit the same one to the global symposium, right? Okay, that's all I want to talk about. Thank you.
Okay, so thanks everybody for attending today. Our update from the Australian chapter is all about the symposium, really. So we've been working really hard getting the agenda organised for the OHDSI APAC Symposium, which will be in exactly 1 month's time. So this time in 4 weeks, we'll all be in Sydney together, which will be fabulous. So it's a 2-day event on the 13th and 14th of July at the University of New South Wales. So we have the first day is the main conference, and we're having 12 different presentations, including 7 lightning talks. And I'm really excited about these lightning talks. Actually, we have a representative from every chapter across APAC, and we're going to be walking through, the OHDSI journey, really, right from data all the way to patient level prediction. So we've got a really good mix of lightning talks that will see the whole, the process of OHDSI through APAC. So really excited about that. And we'll also have a panel discussion about the future of APAC and where we want to take our work. So it's going to be a great session in the afternoon, and of course chaired by Mui. So it's going to be fabulous, right? We've got 2 panel discussions as well, and 35 poster presentations. So really excited about the breadth of work that will be showcased in Australia for the first time ever. On day 2, we have a tutorial day, so a full day tutorial session, which will be a bit of hands-on work as well as some lectures, and again, taking us through a process of doing a network study, right from ETL all the way to interpretation of the results. And the case study that we'll use will be focused on the fluoroquinolone SOS challenge results. So for those of you that have followed along, it'll be great to have you come and talk about the experience, but also for those of you who haven't been involved in the SOS challenge, it's been a really exciting process to be involved in. So you'll learn all about how to do a network study, which will be great. We also have on day 2 in the morning of day 2, which is on a Friday, the oncology work group has asked to do a special breakout session together. So there's going to be a small group of people who are really going to get together and really talk about the way forward with the oncology extension and what needs to be done next. So that's going to be a really great opportunity for those of you who are interested in the oncology work group work to come together and talk about it with some of the leaders of that work group. So if you'd like to attend that as well, there's no separate kind of registration. You just let people know. Thanks. Song, get to the next. This is really just highlighting some of the keynote speakers we have. So we're very lucky, of course, to have Patrick Ryan doing the keynote opening address. Azia is also going to do a seminar on transforming health. And the theme of the meeting is really about what decision makers need from us as researchers and evidence generators. what evidence they need, how confident they are in that evidence, and what they'll use that evidence for to improve health. So that's going to be a really, really exciting session from two really great speakers. Then we'll have a session on the SOS challenge. So Jack will be leading a presentation of the results we've got so far. And we'll have a panel discussion as well with the consumers of that information. So the regulators, the clinicians, and the actual consumers themselves. So we'll have a panel discussion about what they think about that evidence and what they might do with that in their practice and how it might change their practice. So that's going to be really exciting to get their perspectives of those results as well. So next slide. So as I mentioned, the session 4 is the lightning talk, but session 3, I'm quite excited about this session as well. It's really about how we can collaborate together with the different work groups to improve different aspects of OMOP. So we'll have an OMOP FIRE presentation by Graham Grieve and talking about the challenges of both of the models and how they can work together to improve patient care, as well as the OMOP oncology work group as well. So they're going to be 2 really great sessions about extensions of OMOP and working together to improve patient care. So next slide. Well, I won't go through this, but the tutorial is going to be great. Next slide. The work group, I've already talked about this breakout session for those of you interested in oncology, and the website. So get on the website and register, and be great to have you there. So thanks, Song. I think the next 2 slides were just what's already been talked about, the quinolone study that we've been working on, so you can just jump through that. And the India chapter, I was lucky enough to do a presentation last night to the Indian chapter, which was really exciting and attended by lots of people. So that was great to be part of that. And the Taiwan conference coming up this Sunday as well. So lots of cross collaboration going on across APAC, which is really exciting.
In Japan, and today I really focus on the new association as a practical body in Japan. I have developed a new one. So next, please. So the background is in the Europe, there's Eden, and Korea, Hidanet, and in Japan, nothing. So it's a big problem. So we see Japan has no budget, so very limited. So I need some practical body. So I established this year a new practical body. Next, please. Yes, established in March this year. The Association of Federated Medical Data Analysts, it's very long. So we usually call FIDANA in short. Please read the objective. So basically, it's very near to Eden and FIDANA, but very much smaller than compared to them. Okay, next slide, please. These members of the association consist of companies. The budget is from many companies. And members are academic experts. So the activities are like this. and basically to deploy our infrastructure in Japan. So we're gonna design a web-based common infrastructure, and based on that specification, the companies will deploy the systems in the hospitals in Japan. But the specification is common, so all the systems can work together. The other 3, 4, 5, 6 are very common activities at the association. And other activities to focus on is vocabulary mapping with Japanese terminology. we coordinate the local to standard and Japan standard to OMOP standard. So by doing this, we gonna do a very very common investigation using the OMOP. And next, please. Next slide, please. Yes. And this association is just doing core activities. So the actual network, or MOP network, is kept by each group. The company A keeps network, one network, and company 2 keeps networks. And other research group or association, consortium will keep other work. And all the network is based on the same specification. So we can federate and do the same investigation. And the external research group is not OMOP databases. But part of the hospitals of the research group has OMOP database. So we can include the hospital in our research network. Yes. Next, please. This is detailed in a hospital. So the center is OMOP database. Basically, we get source data from EMR, but not limited to. And some type of output. The one top yellow one is OHDSI, mainly for academic research. And the members of the association companies, so we also do commercial use. Actually, commercial use is done by the company, but we coordinate with the companies. And the third one, Taxi, is a Japan-specific organization, next generation medical informatics something. It's a government allowed organization that gather a medical database. We can send the medical data to them. The other type B is a personal health record people. We can put data to them. So using the OMOP database, we have several choice, and each hospital has multiple choice, and they can choose what they want. This is a system of the association. That's all. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Morning here. And today, I'm going to be representing the OHDSI Singapore chapter to share our updates from the last year. As I'll be traveling this week, I have limited internet access to ensure the presentation quality, so I'll be sharing with all of you through a pre-recorded video. Therefore, if you have any questions or anything that you would like to discuss with us, want to reach out to us for collaborations, do send me an email. And here is my email address, ephfm@nus.edu.sg. And here it goes, is the updates for the OHDSI Singapore chapter. And for the last year, at least for me personally, one of my biggest tasks is to grow the younger talents. Because I'm afraid after a while, you all may be sick of my old face. Therefore, I'm growing more younger face in the Singapore OHDSI team. And here, some of you may have already met. We have Yizhi and Yucheng, both are my PhD students in my lab. And especially Yizhi, she'll be actually joining us in person in the APAC Symposium in July. Right, I look forward for her to interact with the rest of the leaders in the region and also the other researchers in the regions as well. For both Yizhi and Yucheng, under the guidance of Professor Chan from South Korea, they're both involved in the APAC study focusing on the potential temporal changes in type 2 diabetes after the COVID-19 pandemic. And the abstract has been submitted and accepted in last year's OHDSI US Symposium. And in addition, IZI has also been helping out the Singapore institutes in participating another APAC study focusing on data quality assessment, and that one is guided by Chungsoo, and thanks to the supervision of Chungsoo. And again, with the combined effort, we have managed to submit a abstract to AMIR this year, and we look forward to hearing positively from AMIR soon. Right. And next, we also have Mukesh and Cindy as well from the Singapore, the A-STAR Institute. A-STAR is the National Research Institute in Singapore. And if you've been following our monthly community course, then you know that not far ago, just last month, both Mukesh and Cindy has been sharing a short tutorial or seminar on the data vault they created as a research platform for the Singapore ecosystems and beyond. In addition to that, if you want to learn more and interact more with Mukesh and Cindy, again, like Izzy and me, both of them will be traveling to Sydney and join us for the APAC Symposium again. And in the Symposium, they will be presenting their accepted abstract, again, sharing more about the data vault that they have created, and they have shared briefly during the tutorial last month. So do come to their booth or the abstract booth to interact with them during the APAC Symposium. Okay, so in addition to our talent growth, our mapping efforts are going on. All of Singapore mapping efforts started kind of since 2021. Again, here, let me remind you again the healthcare system in Singapore. I briefly shared this last year. Just a recap for everyone. Our Ministry of Health have divided our island, a very small country, into 3 healthcare clusters, namely the National University Health System, which is this dark blue color covering the west part of Singapore, and then the National Health Group covering the central north part of Singapore, and then the largest SingHealth covering the central east part of Singapore. And all these healthcare clusters have their own specialized hospitals and community hospitals and their own polyclinics, and they are also associated with their own medical school as well. And the good news is that all 3 clusters are on board with the ETL process to the OMOP common data model, and all the mapping effort has been going on. And actually, I just talked to all the leaders in the institute and understand that the demographic diagnosis and medication tables are almost done. Now, one big task that we are trying to do is that we want to harmonize all these mappings across different institutes to make sure that different institutes in Singapore, we are all mapping different Singaporean concepts to the right or the same OMOP vocabulary, right? So that we know that from Singapore user, when we mean the concept, everyone will map to the same OMOP concept rather than different ones, so that we can harmonize it at least within Singapore. And we target to complete the entire mapping by the 2nd quarter next year. So still a lot of things are ongoing. And in addition to that, more exciting, as Mukesh may have shared last month, Ministry of Health has just launched a centralized nationwide data platform for research called a Trust Platform. They aim to integrate all research data across the entire country. Obviously, that is a very huge vision, and it takes time and many steps to complete. But inspired by all the mapping efforts and all the harmonization effort, all the mapping scripts and harmonizing scripts are being reused or used to inspire or use as the template for the Trust Platform to create their mapping and harmonization codes for the entire country's data. Right, and for the Trust Platform, right, a few large research groups are particularly are doing their mapping under the Trust Platform, which includes the S300K, attract, sync cloud, and everything. Let me talk a little bit about S300K. S300K is a precision medicine national program funded with over $200 million in Singapore. And the target, as it suggests, is to have the full genome sequence of 100,000 Singaporeans, covering both, basically covering a random sample of 100,000 Singaporean populations. And then we will also map the sequence data with all their clinical data as well. And all this data will be ready and shared with all the researchers in Singapore to conduct various clinical or biological related research. And it will be hosted on the Trust platform as well. And inspired by that, besides the mapping of all our clinical data into the home of CDM, there's a huge demand for us to figure out or to work with the OHDSI global work groups to deepen or further the development of the vocabularies that covers various omics data variables. Right. I understand now under again Chan's leadership that there's a genomic data work group that already released some vocabularies and tables to record the metadata of the various omic data. Hopefully we can expand that to include even all the major omic features or the variants as well. And if there's anything that the Singaporean researchers may participate in this effort, do let us know. I believe many of them will be very keen to join in this effort as well. Okay, and for us again on talent building, rather than individual young leaders in the country, we are also building up more software engineers or data engineers. They are equipped with more mapping skills. Here is the graduation photo of our first cohort under our National University of Singapore's Biomedical Information Master Program. As you can see here, I'm here, and this is Niam, our co-chair. This is the graduation night for our first cohort with about 60 students. And within our master program, there's a dedicated course actually taught personally by Niam here, primarily focusing on exactly the entire common data model. And it was very well received. As you see, everyone was very happy. And now actually we are recruiting the second cohort for the master program. And we are expecting to double the cohort size this year. So we do hope that some of them will be able to participate in more APAC studies or the global study in very near future. Right. And next, looking forward to 2024, right? 2024 is a very exciting year for Singapore because APAC Symposium is going to be in Singapore in 2024. So here I look forward to seeing all of you in Singapore in 2024. And here's one of the landmark in Singapore, our Mornin Base Sands Hotel, which is a very fancy hotel with a casino at the bottom. And you can see that there's almost like a boat on top of the buildings with infinity swimming pool on top for all the guests, the hotel guests, and also a few bars and restaurants on top. Right, right after our APAC Symposium this year at Sydney, I promise you that Niam and my team will be working very hard for fundraising. If we did well, if we manage to do well, then we may have sufficient funding to host our meetings exactly at the Mornin Base Sands there. Anyway, look forward to see everyone attending the APAC Symposium in 2024. In addition to that, of course, as I mentioned, we hope that our mapping effort will be able to finish by Q2 next year. And with that, I hope then more Singapore institutes, in addition to our own National University Health System cluster, we encourage other clusters as well, or even the national platform or the national data providers to join in more APAC and global study as well. So with that, as I mentioned, if there's any questions regarding our chapters, or if there's anything that anyone would like to collaborate with, either our lab or other institutes in Singapore, do feel free to drop me an email. look forward to seeing everyone in Sydney for this year's APAC Symposium. And of course, please do join us for next year for Singapore APAC Symposium as well. Okay, thank you. See you.
Yeah, in 2016, in Korea, we have only 2 CDM database, but yeah, next, please. But through 2 national fundings, we, including Lei, Chan, and many researchers made great efforts to introduce CDM in Korea. So next, please. As a result, now 62 hospitals joined to the OHDSI Korea, and this includes 70% of tertiary teaching hospitals from all provinces of Korea. And data of national public institutions, including NHIS, National Health Insurance Service, or Health Insurance Review and Assessment Service, HIRA, Korea, were also converted their data to CDM. So currently, we are closely working with HIRA for opening their CDM data to the public. And we had 21 meetings with collaborators in Korea. We discussed the issues, especially governance issues and collaborative research in this meeting. For this year, we will change this meeting to the 2 times of tutorial events. Researchers in our group will teach other researchers in another province with in-person tutorial on 28th June, this June, and the next one is not decided yet. And next, please. And we encourage the other collaborators to joining this research border-free zone. This is mutual cooperation agreement for multi-center collaborative research, and this when you joining this RFG, and you can access to other institutions' CDM data unlimitedly, and we are approved a single IRB program of each hospital. So we are encouraging the data partners to joining this RFG and encouraging their collaborative research. And next, please. Yeah, for now, 30 hospitals are participating in this RFG, and yeah, this number of hospitals are growing now. And next, please. And we are also working to shorten the CDM convergence cycle. So we introduced the automated CDM conversion and the cycle conversion. As a result, that 29 hospitals are performing their conversion based on daily or weekly or monthly. So, and this approach is, and we encourage the other data partners accepting this approach, because we need more latest information for many studies. So we are encouraging to introduce their hospitals. And next, please. Recently, the projects to develop CDMs specialized for each clinical domain, like infectious disease or dementia, are increasing in Korea. And this project is named a PAROS project. So we intended to develop a data management system based on CDM for infectious disease. And this project is with 3 big hospital in Korea. So, and yeah, this maybe in Korea, I think the national funding project is more specialized to the specific clinical domain, like this case. So, yeah. And yeah, next slide. And another challenge is to use the free text data of in the EHR database. Therefore, we are conducting de-identification research using deep learning models such as BERT. So next, please. So we developed the personal health identifier entities dictionary, including the name, phone number, and home address for masking. We already developed a draft version of the de-identification model based on the BERT, and its performance was quite good. And we have a plan to implement this model to other hospitals, and we are preparing the task. And next, please. Yeah, and we are consistently striving to apply new technology based on our CDM network and FeederNet platform. As a result, we have introduced a federated learning algorithm to the FeederNet platform for multi-institutional distributed learning. So this enables us to develop models that have improved generalizability across various databases. Yeah, this was short sharing about OHDSI Korea, and on behalf of Professor Park, and thank you for listening.